Dexter and told her it was ready.
Wipe out, and then he pushed it around.
But I called her, told her it was ready. She said,
That was the
okay.
last time he saw it.
Okay, it's 6:35, and I'm gonna call to order the Building and Grounds Committee meeting. This committee meeting is in regards to the owner of 120 South Court Square is wanting to install stairs from an upper level door located on the east side of the building. I believe this is the old Hargrove building.
Yes, it's
Correct.
can't afford it. We got the owner and the contractor here that could be able to answer any questions too.
Okay.
If you guys want to come up. So what they're basically looking to do is there's a, how have you guys signed in? There's a door up there, the door to nowhere, that's been there for a while, I just referred to. So they're wanting to come down with a set of stairs off the backside there, go until the deck on the backside, and then there'll be another little set of stairs there. I've discussed it with them. I know originally there was talks about coming out to the front. That kind of blocks off that entire walkway, so we talked and going to that back. I've met with Justin Scott and Jonathan with Urban Forestry just to go over, there's any little tweaks that need to be made. One post would be coming into the lot, not very much, but we can easily adjust the sprinkler heads and that type of stuff there without creating too much issue. This would allow that sidewalk to be free and open. We could curve a little bit of concrete if we need to on one corner just to keep that walkway open. But it would be good. They just put the 2 new apartments for short-term rental upstairs, so I think it would serve better egress and be better for everybody if we could get that set of stairs approved. And that's just kind of showing where it would be on the building roughly, so.
So we would be allowing the post to be on our property
Yes,
in exchange for allowing the walkway to stay open?
yeah,
basically.
yeah, this would allow the walkway to stay open, so. And it wouldn't affect anything on the lot, even if future design, we end up with the center or anything over there, this shouldn't have any effect on that. And then adjustments could be made to take consideration of this.
So how big is the landing gonna be?
You got those dimensions, John?
On the landing at the top.
Yes.
At the door, I think it's 4x4. What code requires? Yeah, code requires.
Okay.
It's not gonna be super large, so.
Yeah, just big enough to walk out and stand on, and there'll be awning over top of it as well.
Handrails,
Yeah,
safety, okay.
and there'll be metal stairs.
Is the size similar to what was there previously? Like, it seems like it is. Do you recall?
Well, the old stairs actually went down towards the front, but it's, yeah, very similar in size.
Okay.
Where will that agreement be? Will that have to be in writing somewhere that they can put their post there, but
Yeah, there should be an easement, a cross easement, because the improvement encroaches on some city property, I assume.
In
I
the
wasn't
alleyway,
out there.
the historic alleyway.
Yeah, but it would be for the benefit of both parties if it were reduced to writing as a cross easement, unless you have other ideas.
We could get that easement drawn up for
Yeah.
that purpose, yeah. I didn't want to get too far into it and bring it up to the board and see what your guys' thoughts was here, and we can get that as we move forward.
The main thing is it was the historic, staircase leading out of the building, but prior to the lot changing from the hole to the lot to the nice green space that it is now, it's kind of going back to what it was in the 30s and 40s when there were 2 buildings side by side there, and there was an alleyway that had that staircase. I'm not sure exactly what that was, but there was some ingress egress, that goes back to the 20s and 30s, and so that's the historic kind of right of use for that building.
Right. I would expect there to be an instrument of record protecting both parties. And you might want to let David Mardla do it, since the city will be a party to the transaction.
Is it going to affect you all if we allow our attorney to look into that until the next meeting and then bring it back up then? Is it going to cause any delays for you?
Yes, it will.
As soon as it cools off.
Okay.
it's gonna be metal, black metal, is that right?
Yes, it's galvanized steel. The treads on the stairs are, it's like a diamond grid for safety. The, I'm trying to think, the awnings will be aluminum. But, and then the design of it, been approved by the historic zoning as well. But it'll, the spindles on the rails going up the side will kind of have the pointy end on it, just like the riverfront, or I'm sorry, West Riverside Cemetery, kind of match the historic nature of it.
Well, I don't remember us talking about an awning in the historic zoning. Did we do that?
Yeah, it was in the design drawing, just to cover the landings basically, so there's not water pooling there to,
Make it slick.
it's on this drawing.
Or
Rachel.
us.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what we. So I see it.
Was there a survey on that end of the building?
There is a survey.
There is, current?
No. I'll have to check back. I did a survey when I purchased the building in
Yeah.
2018. Based on my recollection, it split the sidewalk. The survey did.
Yeah, it'd be handy to get a copy of that.
Okay.
It'd speed things up.
I'll get that to whoever I need to.
Just send it to me, forward it on.
I'm inclined to wait until the city has a clear idea of what is ours, what is theirs, and then going ahead and getting that drafted. But I don't know how you feel.
Well, could we do that? We could approve it pending those things?
Potentially, if you think that's appropriate.
And do you want to allow them to go ahead and start?
I don't see any issue with it at all, but I think legally we need to get that squared away as well.
I can, as soon as I get that, we can get with Tim and get that rolling,
Yeah,
and
we
David,
can
and
get
get
it
that taken
going.
care of quickly. That won't be any issue.
So
Please.
go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, make sure that you work with Mr. Purtle, please.
Yeah.
So we can make a motion to approve,
Subject to conditions.
subject to the conditions.
And as soon as we get that all taken care of, I'll reach out to you guys and let you know.
Okay.
So do that.
So
What are
we-
the conditions?
Survey,
The conditions are that Mr. Purtle will review the survey
written across easement.
and identify if we need to grant an easement or vice versa. Will you have to issue a permit for that?
Yes.
Can you hold off on the permit until that is?
Yeah, like I said, as soon as we get that, so we can get that rolling.
Okay. I make a motion, or would you like to make a motion?
Yeah.
Karen made the motion.
I
Okay.
made the motion.
Okay, then, do you want to second that?
I will second what Carrie said with the conditions that were satisfied and the easement is looked into and yes.
In favor? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So that's all the business that the building committee has, so I will call this meeting adjourned.
Thank you all.
The time is 6:45, and I'll call the Parks and Recreation Committee meeting to order. We have 3 items on our agenda for discussion regarding, concerning the Park Theater. We have Ashley Wright here to speak to those.
Hello. Do you want me to just jump in?
A is discuss new rental rates for the Park Theater.
You will have a sheet like this that compares our current rates to the proposed rates, as well as the hours that we're going to increase the rentals by. Basically, we haven't done this in 5 years, and it's overdue to happen. We have checked the rates of theaters that are comparable to ours, Walker Theater in Borough, the Palace Theater in Crossville, and a few others, and we fall about in the middle of those. So we think these are pretty fair increases, not a lot. And we've also added a, excuse me, a small event with 20 people or less price to make it a little easier for people who want to have a birthday party or a retirement party. But yeah, any questions?
I don't think so. I looked over it. I thought it looked good. And keeping us comparing to other theaters.
In size and cost, we're comparable with the new pricing. We're upping the hours for several of these rentals to make it a little easier on the renters as well.
Anybody have any questions for Ashley on the new rental rates?
I do not.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the new rental rates are approved. B, review the bid for the clean machine as the Park Theater Cleaning Company.
We started working with them when our other cleaner had to stop at the end of last year. They've been wonderful. We really like that they have an à la carte list of things that if we just need a small cleaning in between shows or, at random times, we can choose that instead of doing a full clean, but $290 is a post-show cleaning. We don't need that after every single show, but we like to keep things clean, and those of us who work at the theater look at the theater every day, so it's not something we can always keep on top of, the small things. So we really enjoyed working with them.
Have y'all had who'd you have before?
Picture Perfect, I believe.
We didn't have the clean machine for the Civic Center, did we?
We did not.
Okay.
We had Picture Perfect.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
they had to stop at the end of last year. So we kind of had to rush to find somebody, and Mandy was willing and able, and their quote was great, so we worked with them, and we would love to continue that.
I've heard really good things about Mandy and the clean machine.
They're really professional. They work around our weird schedule. They do a really great job.
I'll make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. So that motion passes.
Thank you.
And now moving on to C, discuss the city entering a performance contract with Daly and Vincent to perform at the Park Theater.
Yeah, so Daly and Vincent was last year, March 1st of 2024. That show sold out. Prior to that, we had several requests for them, and it ended up being an awesome show. They were really easy to work with. The show was great. So we have talked to them about doing a Christmas show this time. So it'll be half Christmas songs, half their regular stuff, and that will be on December 16th. So it'll be right in smack dab in the middle of the holiday season. I think it'll be a great draw for people from out of town, and we would love to have them back.
Is that Friday night?
That is actually a Tuesday night, I believe. It's in the middle of the week, but during the holidays, as you know, sometimes weekends get a little packed. We do not think that will hurt the crowd too much.
Vincent,
Yeah, they're really good.
when's your Harvey Christmas?
It's the Saturday before that, I think. Or, yeah. You said this was what day?
16th. We still get requests all the time for them.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, so we pass our recommendation for Daley and Vincent. I
Thanks so
think that's
much.
all we have on our agenda for Parks and Rec. If anybody has anything else, if not, we'll call this meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
It's 7 o'clock. We will call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the McMinnville City Board of Mayor and Aldermen. The first item on the agenda is roll call.
Sally Brock,
Present.
Deidre Dunlap,
Present.
Steve Harvey,
Here.
Rachel Kirby.
Here.
Carrie Morton.
Here.
Kara Youngblood.
Here.
Mayor Chastain.
Present. Item 2 is consideration of minutes. If there are no requests for additions, corrections, or deletions of the minutes from the June 24th session, I'll entertain a motion to dispense with their reading and approve them as read.
I have a request.
Yes, sir.
When I made the motion about the raises, it was, the minutes said that I made the motion to eliminate the 3% step raise, and it was the opposite. Wanted to eliminate the 2% cost of living and keep the 3%.
I'll ask you to put that in the form of a motion to amend the minutes. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes to amend the minutes from the June 24th session. Item 3 is recognition of visitors. If anyone wishes to address the board, please approach the podium and state your name for the record. And sign in.
I'll do that too as well. Brian Kell, I guess in this capacity with Ben Lomond Connect. I just wanted to thank the city for the work that was done by Parks and Recreation, McMinnville Police Department, the Fire Department as well for the 4th of July event at the Milner Recreation Center, the 2nd annual Freedom Fest celebration. Justin Scott and his team, another fantastic job. All the entities on that. On behalf of Ben Lomond Connect, and I think I can speak for First National Bank as well. Just a great night. We had a great call today to kind of just assess, what went right, what are things that we can improve on, and we had those discussions today. A great call with all 3 entities today, and so big thanks to Justin Scott for helping us get that kind of put together. But thank you all. I hope it was something that continues to grow and continues to be a shining spot for McMinnville and Warren County. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Item 4 is recognition of employees. We have several department heads here this evening. If anyone wishes to give recognition, come on up.
I'd like to recognize the first responders of this community. Today, we had multiple fires in the city. It's very difficult to perform when it's hot like this in the heat with the gear we wear, the conditions we're in. The guys did a fabulous job. It's not just us, the police department helped out, did a great job. In fact, they rescued a couple of people today that were trapped in a backyard that were locked in. Warren County EMS, I want to give them credit too, did an excellent job rehabbing our firefighters, making sure we're safe and able to do the job that we're here to do. So I just want to let you all know that first responders are working hard in this community.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Chief White stole my thunder. I just want to kind of double up on what he just said. So today we had a vehicle fire at 12:30, a house fire at 1:40, and then another house fire at 2:40. And it was 90 degrees. And these weren't small fires. These were all serious fires. Again, 90 degrees. They were out there working their tails off. It's the fire department, the police department, all the county volunteer fire departments, Warren County Emergency Management, and Warren County EMS all deserve all the praise we can give them. Great job by all those entities today. I was very proud of our community. So,
Thank you for that. Item 5 is communications. There are none. Item 6 is petitions. There are none. Item 7 is unfinished business. Does any member of the board have any unfinished business this evening? Item 8 is new business. Any new business for the board? Item 9 is resolutions. Item 9A is resolution number 2025-22, a resolution of the city of McMinnville to accept the service agreement invoice for Zartico for $54,000 for the city of McMinnville Tourism and Marketing Department, which authorizes the city administrator to issue the necessary purchase order on behalf of the city and to express the time when the resolution becomes effective. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Steve Harvey,
Second.
second by Ms. Deidre Dunlap. Any questions or discussions for Ms. Pooples?
How is this, I know that we had a vote on another agreement last meeting or the meeting before?
Same one.
This is the exact
When
same?
the gentleman was presenting?
Yes.
Yes, same,
Okay.
same thing.
Okay. Are we approving this because we're in two different budget years, or, I mean, what's,
It's over $20,000 in one fiscal year, so it needed to go to the full board. So it's 27,000, and then 5,225, 5,250 of that will be reimbursed by the state. So the end investment by the tourism fund in 1 year, 2 years in a row. So it's 21,750 out of the fund 2 years in a row, equaling, I can math, 43,500 in total for a 2-year contract. There's a lot of numbers there, I know it's confusing.
there are two new service providers, is that correct? Zartico and,
Placer AI?
no, there was a meeting with the tourism board a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, sure. Mhm.
Who is that with? What?
We have a lot of projects coming out of the tourism department this year, so I'm gonna have a lot of contracts in front of you all over the next few months. That was for a branding and identity. This is for
That's it. It was
data,
branding and
yeah, this
identity.
is for data garnering, which will allow all those companies that we're working with and partnering with for the strategic planning, for the branding and identity, and for the marketing campaign to have access to data so that we can define our target markets and make sure that all the initiatives are pinpointed to those visitors that are gonna provide the greatest economic impact to Warren County.
Okay.
Anything else? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Sally Brock,
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap,
Aye.
Steve Harvey,
Yes.
Rachel Kirby.
Yes.
Carrie Morton.
Yes.
Carrie Youngblood.
Yes.
Mayor Chastain.
Aye, motion passes. Item 10 is ordinances. Item 10A is ordinance number 2025-14, an ordinance of the city of McMinnville to deny the rezoning classification of a property located at Belmont Drive from I-1 light industrial to R3 high density residential, and expressing the time the ordinance becomes effective. It's the second and final reading. Council, we had a question, like, does this actually need to be an ordinance, a denial of a rezoning request, or does it just, it's just denied and that's it?
Well, I think it's the latter. It's memorialized in the minutes though.
Okay.
It would need the second reading.
I think the way that it was
The way it was
presented-
kind of confused, I'm sorry, is normally it would be to approve this, and had you all voted no against that approval, it would have died at the first reading. The ordinance reads to deny this, so your yes votes at the last meeting were to deny it, which would have to be seconded at this meeting to make that ordinance take effect.
But does a denial of a rezoning request require an ordinance?
And why would it come here if it were denied in planning commission?
No, you're right.
What?
You're correct.
Who?
No, the planning commission only recommends to
Yep.
the full board, and then the
Yeah.
full board makes the final vote through an
Right.
ordinance.
And so we've done that.
That's right. But it was just worded backwards. The vote was to deny the request. Usually the vote is to approve the request. And if you deny the request in your first vote, there's no need to have a second vote.
Yeah,
But since it's backwards, you're gonna say yes twice.
okay.
You gotta say yes to say no twice.
But in the future, we don't have to do this.
No, we can keep it, we'll go back and have it approved, and then you can just do the
Okay.
one and done, so.
Have a motion to approve this denial on the second reading.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Carrie Morton.
Second.
Second by Ms. Sally Brock. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Sally Brock?
Yes.
Deidre Dunlap?
Aye.
Steve Harvey?
Yes.
Rachel Kirby?
Yes.
Carrie Morton?
Yes.
Carrie Youngblood?
Yes.
Mayor Chastain?
Aye, motion passes. Item 10B needs to be struck from the agenda, given that it did fail on first reading and does not require a second. Item 11 is departmental reports. Anyone here wish to address the board this evening?
We got our new replacement truck one. It's parked outside. We brought it tonight. I'll let you all look at it if you wanted to. If you don't have time tonight, you can come to the station any other time. We'll be happy to show it to you. But we're proud of it, but it's sitting outside. We should have it in service Thursday. We're doing our driver training now, make sure everybody knows, the procedures, how to operate everything on it. Should be running calls Thursday, but it's outside if y'all want to see it.
About the new fire truck.
Couple weeks,
Okay,
couple weeks. Crossing our fingers.
sounds good. Thank you, Chief.
Yep.
Good evening. I also wanted to thank Ben Loman and First National Bank for the fireworks. I've heard a lot of good things about that. It was a phenomenal show. It was a great Friday night with Joe Harvey Band. The pool stayed open later, and I heard it was just a wave of people. I reached out to Jennifer Meredith to find out with Placer AI if we can find out how many people were actually on the grounds that night. So I'm waiting on that data. But Jason Gross, thanks to him, thanks to Main Street Media, there's just so many people that took part of that. And he mentioned the fire and the police. They did a phenomenal job. So thanks to everybody. Ashley shared this with me. I wanted to bring up, we've got these flyers posted at our facility and hopefully on the website, but there's a lot of things coming soon. Easton and Friends, July 19th, Chicago Teen Edition, July 25th, 26th, 27th. August, we get pretty busy. So there's just a lot of neat little things happening at the theater. Check our website out. And then lastly, the Hive, our kayak rental,
Vending machine.
self-rental. The concrete, the gravel was put down today in the location that we went and looked at Riverfront. It's gonna arrive Friday. We're gonna have a float Saturday. It's not a 3-hour float. You're welcome to come. It's from 10 to 1. You can drop in. But you can get in a boat and go upstream and float back, or you can do whatever you'd like there. But it's gonna be from 10 to 1 Saturday at Riverfront Park. Encourage you guys to come and just try it out. It'd be a great time. So, anything else to add to that, Jordan? All right, thank y'all.
Pool looks great.
I appreciate that.
It
Yeah.
does.
Runs well.
Katie Smart's doing a phenomenal job with it. Lifeguards are working their tails off this summer. We've had a very busy summer. Every day, it seems like it's just, with it being so hot, we've just got a lot of people coming. So really good turnout this summer for us.
Your kids'
Jungle
camp,
Gym looks good too.
Jungle Gym does look good, yeah.
your kids' camp is phenomenal. I'm
Ki-
hearing a lot of
Yeah,
good stuff.
Renee Alvarez is doing a really good job with that. Of course, we increased it this year to add more kids. We'd love to do more in the future with that, more kids. But the instructors are all doing a great job. He runs a very tight ship, so it's good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Maine, you have anything?
I don't have anything else.
Mr. Purdy? If there's nothing else come before the board, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you all.